Guys, your favorite Fenty main, Joker from Victory Till the End, back at it again, once again. Now, you are here if you want to be able to prep for Childe. He is a 5-star Hydro Archer, coming in the new 1.1 update. That is coming November 11th, so he's only days away. Now, remember this is all based on the beta for his materials, so it could change, but what we got so far is, first off, one thing that won't change, the Oceanid. He's going to need the Azurite pieces and the Cleansing Heart from the Oceanid, so go ahead farm that boss if you're trying to get ready for Childe. Another thing is Star Conches, and I found a really good place to farm Star Conches down here at the Yoguang Shoal. You can literally just run around and they're everywhere. So he'll require those, and the type of books he'll require for his talents are actually Books of Freedom. And if I remember correctly, of course you can get them Sunday, because every single day on Sunday, basically everything's available, everything's free game. And then let's see where they are. Books of Freedom. Okay, so yes, they are available Monday and Thursday in the Frosted Altar domain, and the Biting Frost on Sunday. So he will require those Books of Freedom. I personally not really had to farm them in the past, so I kind of need to get to doing that. And another thing he'll require is very similar to Diluc. If you have Diluc, the Sergeant Sigils, the Recruiter's Insignia, Sergeant's Insignia, and the Purple, which those can be farmed from any of the Fatui, and that one's not that hard. You just open up your book, go to the bosses page. As you see, I'm already doing that. Go to Leeway, and you should be able to track down Pyro Agents, which have a chance of dropping them. The Shiten Mage. So yeah, Pyro Agents, they can drop the Insignias. The Electro Shiten Mage, they can drop them, and the Fatui Skirmishers, they're guaranteed to drop them. Here, I'll just quickly fight one, since I'm already basically by one. I don't want to fight you all. Please leave me alone. I want to fight the Skirmisher. And then also, what I've heard also is the Windmill Flowers, the Windwheel Astir flowers are another thing that you might need, which those can be farmed in Storm Terror's lair very, very easily.
Here comes trouble.
Oh, hello.
Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. By royal decree.
Let me just fight him.
Going in.
He's dead. As you can see, he dropped, Sergeant Insignia, Recruiter, Lieutenant. So you're going to need those to ascend him. And the Windwheel Aster, in case you do need them, because I don't remember if you fully would, and again, everything's subject to change. You can find them around the tree in Windrise, or you can find them up in Storm Terror's lair, specifically like around this sort of area, just walking around. For good bows, I actually don't have much good bows prepared. The compound bow might be really nice for him, of course. The free-to-play bow, of course, 5-star bows would be pretty nice for him. And then also Rust. Rust would be really nice for him for DPS damage. Favonius might, so that way, because he is a crit-based Hydro Archer, most of his abilities rely on landing crit to apply that flow. The Broken Flow, which is his whole gimmick, so you can also maybe get some energy, some elemental particles back out of it. So you do get Favonius Bow after beating Storm Terror. That's a good option. Let's see here, what other bows do I have? Okay. I guess maybe Messenger could work if you really don't have stuff, but the Favonius would be a better option. Compound Bow would be a better option. But then better than them, Rust would be good. Stringless could be decent, but I probably prefer Rust, and then, 5 stars are 5 stars. So obviously they are really good options, but I personally would probably prefer Rust or Compound Bow on Childe, but that's just me. Again, you wouldn't fully know unless if you, till we have him, unless if you get him.
Benny's
Which you can bet
adventure team,
I'm saving for
assemble.
him. I want him over Zhongli. Some teams you could have him with Venti and then Bennett and maybe Xiangling. So that way, if I were to swap out and slap Xiangling on the Elemental Resonance, you could get Fervor, which increases your attack by 25%. So Venti, Xiangling, Bennett, and then, Childe at the front as your main DPS, because he would be best for main DPS. And you could easily proc Vaporize. Now, the way Vaporize works is if you put water on fire, you'll deal 2.5% bonus damage. And if you put fire on water, 1.5%, water onto pyro, so hydro onto pyro, 2.5%. And Xiangling is basically the official of pyro, because she can easily constantly keep pyro damage going with her little bear, constantly putting it out, or her elemental burst, her triangle, which is the pyro tornado. Another good option could be Venti, Fischl, and then either like a Xingqiu or a Barbara for water, for hydro, so that way you can keep up with another hydro, and Barbara if you want the healing, and then you could have Childe there as the main DPS, so like, if I were to look at this,
Wish me luck.
all of this would be here, and then instead of Bennett, you'd have Childe. So those are just two teams there if you want like a full water team, or just a fire team that can do Vaporize, but the reason you'd want Fischl in this scenario is for the simple fact of you could proc Electrocharged, which is really, really good. You can also, if you don't want Xiangling, Bennett can work as your fire person in the first team to proc some little heals.
What?
And that spot's basically in the sense of the first one when you're having Venti or like some version of an emo user, you could have Jean, you could have the Wind Traveler, you could have Sucrose to be able to go there. But the Venti, Bennett, Xiangling, and Childe build, that will work perfectly fine. Really good option. But, if you don't want Bennett or you don't have Bennett, you can just go with another fire user. If you have one, you could just have Diluc there if you wanted to. He wouldn't be your main DPS if you're trying to focus on Childe being your main DPS, but hey, he could kind of just be there just to get the bonus. But what I'm personally going to mess with is probably an Emo user with Fischl, Bennett, and Childe, or my Nemo user with Childe, Bennett, and Xiangling. Those are probably the two main ones I'm going to personally mess with. So those are just a couple teams. Again, Xingqiu can be really good, especially if you ascend him to rank 4. His Broken Swords, his R2, when they break, they give characters max health, so they can count as a little bit of a healer. Plus, that kind of opens up everything. But the team I'm probably going to rock with is either everything you see here and then Childe, or I might just go my Venti, Bennett, Xiangling will be just there. So, Bennett for healing, attack buff, Xiangling will be there for the pyro resonance and for constant pyro damage. And I'll have Childe there as my main DPS and also be able to proc Vaporize, because Vaporize can do a lot of pretty good damage. So yeah, recap. To make sure you're ready for Childe, if you're going to roll for him, you're going to need Sergeant Insignias, which you can open up the book, fight anything Fatui Skirmishers, Fatui Pyro Agents, Fatui Chidden Mages. They have a chance of dropping it. Make sure you fight the Oceanid boss for the Azure stuff, and the Azure Sliver, the Azure Fragments, basically the blue water gems, and the Cleansing Hearts, which you can also buy the Hydro Water Gems from the vendors for Sigils, Geo Sigils, Anemo Sigils, and Moonstead or Leeway. You might need the Whirlwind Aster Flowers, the Windmill Flowers, and if you do, Windrise has them, Storm Terror Slayer has a bunch of them, the Little Flower Girl sells 5 of them for 5,000 Moira, and you're definitely going to need some Star Conscious, best way to find them, you can find like 9 of them. Just going along in the Yaoguang shore. You usually just find them on beaches in Liyue. You're going to need the talent books of freedom, so make sure on Monday and Sunday and Friday, Monday's probably the best option to farm them. Go ahead, farm them to level up this talent. And of course, you're going to need a crap ton of the necessities, which is the gold and like the Moira and the adventure books. I'm actually decent on Moira, not really decent on adventure books. But oh well. So make sure you're doing those lane limes or any quest that can reward a crap ton if you haven't have the battle pass and it's not maxed out. Like me, you know, you can easily go into the battle pass, try to keep going, you know, I'm about to get some Moira and some adventure books. So, you know, those are nice as well. And just, you know, I wish you luck on going for Childe if you're going for Childe. If not, then I wish you luck with Zhongli or whoever 5-star you're going for. The update will be great. The banner for Childe would be Childe, the new Cryo Healing Ice Archer, Diona, and I think Ningguang. And I wish you all the best of luck with your wishes. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe only if you see fit. Hit that notification bell to become a part of the notification squad. Catch you on the next one.